All right, welcome back. This is lesson 5. Today's lesson is page 22 and 23 in Alfred's Basic Adult Piano Course Level 1 All-in-One book. Page 22, 23. It deals with writing in 4/4 time. So music has numbers at the very beginning called the time signature. And remember that there's a number on top and a number on bottom. Right now we know 4/4 time. And that means there's 4 beats in each measure. That's what the top number tells you. And a quarter note gets counted as 1 beat each. That's what the bottom number tells you. So, exercise number 1, in the box under each note, write the number of counts the note receives. So, pause so you can do it. Hopefully you paused, and the answers are 2 beats, 1 beat, 4, 1, 2, 1, 4, 2, 4, 1. All right. So, you remember bar lines, the vertical lines in the music, divide the music into measures. Each measure in 4/4 time has some combination of notes that add up to 4 total counts. So in exercise 2, you want to complete each measure by adding 1 G to each, so the counts add up to 4. So pause and fill out number 2. Hopefully you paused, and the answers are: the first measure has 1 G quarter note. The second measure has 1 G half note. The third measure has 1 G half note. And the fourth measure has 1 G whole note. All right, exercise number 3. Complete each measure by adding just 1 C, so the counts add up to 4. They should use this exercise when the counts add up to 3. That way you can rhyme. Complete each measure by adding just 1 C, so the counts add to 3. It's like in The Princess Bride, right? Does anybody want a peanut? No more rhyming and I mean it. Oh, I did that backwards. So, pause it. All right, the answers to number 3. Measure 1 has 1 C quarter note. Measure 2 has 1 C half note. Measure 3 has 1 C whole note. Measure 4 has 1 C quarter note. Exercise number 4. Complete each measure by adding just 1 F to each, so the counts add up to 4. So pause it and fill out exercise 4. All right, here's the answers. Exercise 4, measure 1 has 1 F half note. Measure 2 has 1 F quarter note. Measure 3 has 1 F half note. Measure 4 has 1 F whole note. All right, top of page 23. It says add bar lines, like the first one shown, to divide the music into measures of 4 counts each. Add a whole rest in each measure to indicate silence for either the left hand or right hand. Write the name of each note in the box above it, and then play the piece when you're done. Remember, there's a bar line, or the double bar line at the end has the repeat sign. And remember that the bass clef is left hand, treble clef is right. So on this first line, your right hand is playing, your left hand is going to need whole rests for every measure. And pause it and fill out all the whole rests and the bar lines and the note names for the whole thing. And when you unpause it, I will have the answers. Okay. Lightly row. If you start at the very beginning, you have the notes are G, E, E, F, D, D, C, D, E, F, G, G, G. Bass clef, G, E, E, F, D, D, C, E, G, G, C. And then there's a repeat, so you're going to play that. But first you were supposed to add bar lines. So if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, there's the first bar line the book gave you. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next bar line goes after the D half note. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next bar line goes in between the F and the G at line 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a bar line. 1, 2, 3, 4. In bass clef, you need a... Well, you put the bar line between treble and bass clef. It goes for both, but the treble clef on this line is going to be full of whole rests. So we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 beats there. The bar line goes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bar line goes here between the D and the C. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bar line goes here before the last whole note C, but right after the second G. Hopefully you've played this, because I'm going to now. Starting at the beginning, and there is a repeat. Yep, that's it. Now, the second song on page 23, Aunt Rhody. It says, add bar lines, dividing the music into measures of correct length. Add whole rests as needed. Write the names of each note in the box above it. Add something before the last double bar to indicate that the piece should be repeated. Play the piece. So let's answer all these with what we know. Add bar lines, dividing the music into measures of correct length. Well, what is the correct length of the measure? Well, in 4/4 time, that's 4 beats per measure. A quarter note gets counted for 1 each. That's going to be 4 beats before each bar line. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4 bar line. Right after the D quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4 bar line after the second C half note. 1, 2, 3, 4 bar line right after the F quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4 bar line. There is one already there. You don't have to draw it. Next line, 1, 2, 3, 4 bar line in between the F quarter note and the E half note. Starting on the E half note, 1, 2, 3, 4 bar line right after the second E quarter note. So you have E half note for 2, E quarter note, E quarter note. That's a total of 4 bar line. Moving on, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 bar line after the 4 quarter notes. And then you have a whole note, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a double bar line. That means the end. So now we should have all the bar lines in. Add whole rests as needed. Well, you have stuff going on in treble clef here, so bass clef is empty. Maybe you should add some whole rests there. In the next line, you have bass clef stuff here going on, but the treble clef is empty. Maybe you should add some whole rests there. Write the name of each note in the box above it. You should do that. Then add something before the double bar line to indicate the piece should be repeated. Well, I think that's the 2 dots in the treble and bass that we've talked about as the repeat sign. So do that. You should pause it now and practice. And when you unpause it, I'm going to play it after I name all of the notes for you. Alright, hopefully you've practiced. We have E, E, D, C, C, D, D, F, E, D, C, G, G, F, E, 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 D, C, D, E, C. And there will be a repeat sign, so I will play this twice. right, that concludes lesson 5. This ain't no jive. All right, hopefully you're having a good time learning something. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I do my best to answer them. Page 22. Page 23.